Yo, what is going on? My name is Wolfyds, and for those of you who do not know, Total War Warhammer 2 has been announced with a pretty cool cinematic trailer by Creative Assembly. But unfortunately, a lot of hardcore Total War fans are disappointed, and I understand their disappointment and frustration because it is Total War Warhammer 2, and it has only been a year since Total War Warhammer has been released, and there are pretty much no signs of another historic Total War title coming anytime soon. All we know is that it's going to be in a different era and that the combat animations are going to be absolutely incredible. But in this video I'm going to be trying to explain why we shouldn't be pissy about Total War Warhammer 2 being released before the next historic title. In fact, personally, I believe Total War Warhammer 3 may even be released before the next historic title. The reason for this is because Total War Warhammer 2 and 3, they have everything they need already. They have all the lore, they have all the textures, they even have an engine because they are just using the same engine that they used to make Total War Warhammer. And this is because it is not a different game, Total War Warhammer 2. I don't know about Total War Warhammer 3, but Total War Warhammer 2 is the same game. It is merely expanding what we already have. It's expanding the campaign map to include 4 new races, the Skaven, the High Elves, the Dark Elves, and the Lizard Men, which is also interesting because a lot of their territory is overseas from the mainland or the campaign map that we already have, so hopefully we'll be seeing some naval battles introduced. Hopefully there'll be a lot of new features introduced, a lot of things change, a lot of things improve. I for one would love to see siege battles improve because personally I think they are very disappointing, they are very small, and it takes all the strategy away from them. Now, as I said, Total War Warhammer, they have everything they need. Also, it is a different team working on Total War Warhammer that is working on Total War, the historic titles. And we need to remember this because that means it is not either Warhammer or Total War or historic titles, because they are both working at the same time. But Total War Warhammer, the trilogy may be finished before the next historic title simply because they have less work to do. The historic titles, they have to do loads of historic research, and we already know that they've got amazing combat animations which they've been working hard on, and that we know is going to be in a new era. The historic team are starting from scratch, they're using a new engine, it's a new era, everything is absolutely new. They have to do a load of research into the campaign map, into textures, what people wore, the armor, and stuff like that, the politics of the realm. Whereas with Total War Warhammer, they have everything they need, and they are working with game workshops who already own and have produced many Warhammer titles. This is why we don't need to be peed off or annoyed or disappointed. I mean, disappointed I understand, but peed off or annoyed that Total War Warhammer 2 has been announced before the next historic title. They are completely two different things, and we need to bear that in mind. We don't want to be jumping down CA's throat. And what we need to remember also is what happened with Total War Rome 2. Its release almost killed Total War. Any hopes for a new decent game were pretty much dashed with its release, and it wasn't fixed until a year after, with all these patches that Creative Assembly had to release. And the only thing saving it, to be honest, apart from the patches, were indeed Total War Attila, which again was a great game. But these historic titles do not compare to the success that Total War Warhammer has already had. Preferably I prefer the historic titles, but Total War Warhammer just has blown them out of the water. The success has been amazing. Now this could be due to the fact that it is combining two communities, the Warhammer community and the Total War community. But also, Creative Assembly are going to want to take their time with this new historic release because it needs to save Total War. It needs to be the historic title that saves Total War. They are going to be working to make the best historic title they have ever released, which they have a lot to live up to with Total War Shogun 2 or the original Rome Total War and Medieval Total War 2, and I for one cannot wait to see this new title. But unfortunately we are going to have to wait. Whether we'll have to wait until next year, 2 years or 3 years, I do not know. I do not have a lot of details on what is happening, unfortunately. But we are going to have to be patient. We are going to have to make do with what Creative Assembly give us. And unfortunately that doesn't seem to be much. We do not know, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Play Total War Warhammer 2, play Total War Warhammer 3, and personally I wouldn't see Creative Assembly releasing Total War Warhammer or a fantasy title at the same time as a historic title, because it could damage the sales in either one of these titles. So it'd make more sense for them to release a fantasy title one year and then a historic title the next year. Obviously this isn't going to be happening for reasons I've already said, that Total War Warhammer are going to be being released a lot sooner than the historic titles, and this will probably be the same with many fantasy titles if Creative Assembly stick to these fantasy titles, which I believe they will, because they'll be working with other companies and they'll already have everything sorted for them. They wouldn't have to do as much research as they have to do for these historic titles. Now hopefully I will be uploading another video with what I'd like to see in Total War Warhammer 2. If you have any suggestions of what you would like to see, please let me know in comments below or contact me on Twitter, whichever you prefer. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content like this in the future. Ciao for now.